I'm Paddy, and we're here at Yes in a room called the Purple Room, and we're with Torres ahead of her headline show tonight in the Pink Room. So yeah, so how are you doing?
I'm well. I love the pink room.
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
Hmm.
So Silver Tongue is the first album you produced entirely yourself. Like, how was that? Did you enjoy having that more ownership, that more control?
I yeah, I mean enjoy is kind of a funny word.
Mhm.
I've enjoyed the process of making every record that I've made. And every time has been a little different. Um Making Silver Tongue, I think it just allowed me producing this one myself allowed me to just focus a lot more actually because um I wasn't bouncing opinions around with, other people that were in the room. It was a very I've been using this phrase a lot, but it's really the best word for it is tunnel vision.
Mhm.
It's a very sort of tunnel vision type process when you're the only one producing because there are no other sounding boards, and so the best part of that is that you get to execute your vision 100%. And the flip side of that is that you might be executing something that doesn't work.
Mhm.
Um, and you have no one to tell you that until you've already finished the work and put it out into the world. So that
Yeah.
was the risk that I took there. And who's to say? I mean, time will tell, I guess, what worked and what didn't. But I am happy with what I got.
Mhm. And it feels like though your last album was on 4AD and this one's on Merge, like even though that this is, a slightly smaller label than 4AD, that the reaction and the acclaim may even be bigger for this one than your last album. Is that something?
It feels that it is,
Mhm.
but that's just like I said, it's a feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
The response that I personally have received um, feels bigger.
Mhm. And that does that say something about the platform you've been able to build over the years?
I don't know
And
what it says really.
mhm.
I'm not sure if it says anything really about the work. I mean, the truth is that I love each record as much as I love the last. And
Yeah.
I love all of my work for different reasons. And I'm proud of every album that I've made. So, I don't know if it's a reflection of the work itself or the people that I'm working with or if it's just a time and place thing. Some things just don't land at the right time.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe that happened with the last record that I released. I don't know. It's really it's a really unpredictable industry, the music
Yeah.
industry.
Mhm. Um, and did you feel like going mainstream with like you getting drops from 4AD? Did you feel like that helped give an insight to people of what life is like as a mid-level
Hmm.
artist?
Maybe. Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised. Um, Maybe. I don't know though. I don't know how much insight people really have that aren't in it. I mean, the nitty gritty realities of being a performing working musician, recording musician, all of these parts of the process. It's a lot dirtier and a lot more blood, sweat, and tears than I think anyone could possibly understand. But it's not necessary for them to. I don't think.
Mhm.
I think that um, you know, sometimes it's necessary to lift the veil, and other times it feels like it's more important to maintain the suspension of disbelief for people because they don't care about the realities. They just want
Yeah.
the art, and I understand that.
Mhm. Yeah, because like I work in the industry too, and like when you came out and said, like a lot of my friends aren't doing that well financially who make
Hmm.
music. Like I feel like people from the outside would look at someone like yourself and you're on 4AD and thought, oh, Torres is like absolutely smashing it, doing really well. Like she must be like really well off from this. And
Oh God.
I feel like when I don't know, I feel like that would have been a shock to a lot of people reading that.
I know that people think musicians are rich.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, but the truth is that for the last um, you know, 2 years I've been scraping dimes together um, to eat and pay basic utilities, bills, rent kinds of things. But again, it's not an interesting topic,
Yeah.
and it's certainly not a woe is me sort of point that I'm making, because it's a choice that I've made to do this, and I'm very happy with my choice. It's just there's something has to change in order for it to be a sustainable line of work for people like myself, and otherwise the ultimate loss will be the loss of our artists.
Yeah.
We just won't have it anymore, and then people, I think that's when people will understand.
Yeah. And it's worrying that it could get to the point where only like people of privilege are able to access the music industry because they've got the money to invest.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing a lot of that now. So
Yeah. So after that experience with 4AD, it took you like several months to start writing again, didn't it? Was there a particular moment when you thought like, I want to start writing again?
I I think that process just bloomed on its own. I took I took a while, and then I mean, just as it happened, when I was young, a teenager, and when I first started having the impulse to write lyrics and to write music, it came about like that. It just felt like, oh, this is actually something that that must this is something that must come out, with or without, whether or not it goes any further than that. I just need to, it's imperative for me to make the work. And that became very apparent, just when I had lyrics, I had things that I wanted to say. And then when I started to realize that I had more to say, then that was when I decided to start, channeling that energy into actually making a new record.
Yeah. Okay, so we're speaking to you on like a pretty big day for like US politics. So I wondered how you were processing the whole Super Tuesday news.
Oh, this is loaded.
Yeah.
I'm very frustrated, which is an understatement, but I'll keep it clean for the sake of the people. I think a lot of people chickened out. I think a lot of people are saying that they believe things that they don't believe. And I think a lot of people are choosing, ultimately a plan that's not going to work. And I'm a Bernie supporter, so take that for what it is.
Yeah, so I saw on your Twitter, so that's why I asked. So yeah, does it feel weird being away and not being able to like contribute as much as you'd like while all that was going on, or?
I mean, I live in New York, so the vote has not happened there yet. I mean, I'm as involved as I can be, I think. But as we saw today, it doesn't really seem like intentions and efforts really matter all that much in the end. What matters is how much money you have to bribe and how much, interference technology you have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the singer-songwriter tag and the fact that tag is often used with women rather than men is something that you've kind of fought against being pigeonholed under. Do you feel like you're winning that battle?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think, and I'm not being disparaging at all. People, call it whatever you want, but you're right. I don't know any men that get called singer-songwriters. And I think it's hilarious. I mean, I'm really loud. I'm a very loud guitar player.
Yeah. I know.
And I don't know. I don't know. I love playing guitar and like sort of thinking about these things in my head as I'm playing. Like I'd like to see you call me a singer-songwriter now, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see you call me confessional.
Yeah.
I'll show you a
Confessional,
confession. I get a little yeah. I'm a little bit riotous in that way.
No, I think
But
you're
I
right
think
to
it's
be.
I think it's really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I do feel that that tag has been going on so long now, and particularly only being used with female artists, that it is going to get to the point, or maybe it already has, where someone just sees an image of like a female artist with a guitar and instantly thinks, "Oh, soft acoustic singer-songwriter." I don't know. Like, how do you feel like we circumvent the bad progress that's already been made in that way?
I don't really think it's necessary to circumvent. I think the I think that, you know, they're being called Gen Z, whatever you call them, the people that are younger than us.
Yeah.
The next generation is already taking care of all of that. I honestly think that all of these identifiers and descriptors are going to be completely eliminated really soon, and I think we won't even have to push for it. I just think that we're moving towards a genderless, identityless world, and you know, we're moving towards the apocalypse. None of this is going to matter.
Well, I was gonna say let's hope so, but I can't say now that you've mentioned the apocalypse. Okay, so finally, like, could you recommend some like new-ish artists for us to check out that you're enjoying right now?
Harkin,
Mm-hmm.
who's opening this tour.
Yeah.
Um, Katie has been in bands for I think it's at least a decade, touring bands. She's one of the hardest working musicians, if not the hardest working musician that I've ever known. And she's stepped forward with her own music for the first time, and she's got a new record, and she's all heart, all talent. Yeah, I think you should check out Harkin.
Yeah.
And you should see her live if you can.
Starting tonight, ideally.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Come to the show.
Okay, cool. Well, best of luck tonight. I'm sure it'll go great. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
best of luck with the rest of the tour as
Thank
well.
you so much.
Something drops the memory of you repeat.